like Melanie on board to help even with the energetics of getting us to where we need to be is something that is so, so powerful. So I am so excited to be able to bring Melanie on and let her unleash and share her absolute amazing message with you, because today, like I said, she's going to be talking about NLP and hypnosis biohacking 101. So Melanie, I could talk about you for so long, but before I start to drag this out, I'm going to pass the mic over to you, and I am so looking forward. I'm going to have my pen. I've already got my pen and my pad ready to take notes, and afterwards, everyone, if you have any questions throughout, comment them. If you're watching this on Facebook Live, comment your questions below, and then we're gonna have a couple minutes at the end where Melanie's gonna be able to answer your questions live. So take advantage, guys. Normally this woman charges hundreds and tens of thousands of dollars, for this kind of information. So you're getting it for free today. So take advantage. And Melanie, I'm gonna pass it over to you.
Oh my gosh, Stephanie, you are so incredible. I mean, this family is incredible, and I feel like abundance coming from heaven when I come onto these. I just feel like all this energy, and I'm stoked. I'm really stoked to be able to share the message and to share my version of what life is. And hopefully somebody out there resonates with me. That I know that we're all living in the times that we're living in are just kind of, we don't know. And it's like, how are we, what would you be able to, what would you want in your life to be able to adapt more easily? What kind of mindset, what kind of power that we already have. Like, you don't really have to be out there and find anything outside of yourself. It's all here, from whatever religion, for me, it's the God seed. I know that everything is within me, and I have it. I can access it now through meditation, through reading, through family, through friends, through, a good slice of cake, it's just whatever it is, however you feel to enjoy it. And I really want to help others to realize that it's the little things, really the little things that stack up. And if we focus on those kind of things, then what we feel is big and monstrous is just like, you just like a feather, you blow it away. It's not even a big deal. So really take the power within yourself, look inside, and just know that I think Mel Robbins, she was one of the ones that I looked at very first. She says that they did the logistics, and you are one in, oh my gosh, like 144 trillion, like the possibilities that you're sitting right here right now. It's just like, it's astronomical, right? Anyway, so I really want to make that God seed glow. I really want to help others kind of polish that and realize and know, and just have that grow within each one of us, right? So what would that look like to you, And the idea behind what we're doing here in Asira, to spread knowledge, to spread this wisdom that each one of us, you open a book, and the greatest authors, Shakespeare, Tesla, you've got these amazing resources, and what are we going to do with them? Like, their lives, they've lived their lives, they've written them out, and all you have to do is open their book and you can read, you can live their lives as them. Okay, so that's sort of a biohack, a simple biohack is reading. But the first thing I want to do is explain to you a little bit of a pre-frame what life is for me, for the human that for all humans, that we just don't understand how easy it is to access this. Okay, so I look at it as like your computer screen or your iPhone, whatever, you want to zoom. It's point and click. It's like, what do we want to adjust? What do we want to bring to us and push away from us? So with our bodies, our neurological unconscious mind, I want to talk about that the very first, the unconscious mind as opposed to the conscious mind. And then we actually have a super conscious mind, which not many people talk about. So the unconscious mind I like to use the metaphor as like this body is a ship. And we're driving the ship around, and as we're little babies growing up, you know, heading out through life, we haven't really been taught how to manipulate through this ocean of life. So the unconscious mind, the conscious mind is like a 3-year-old. It's like a 3-year-old that, you know, I gotta get a drive, you know, they're like, we're at the playground and we're driving the ship and we think we're driving the ship, but really, truly, it's the unconscious mind. That's the powerhouse. That's the crew, the cleaning, that's the engine room. The unconscious mind is 95% of our lives that we rarely ever even understand or know how to tap into. So the conscious mind is like, oh, I want, you know, an ice cream. I want to go tie my shoes. I want to go visit grandma, whatever. That's the conscious mind. And then the unconscious mind takes in those directives. And the unconscious mind goes, okay, I know how to do that. We know what to do. We know, you know, get in the car, drive, pick up something on the way. The unconscious mind takes over and the conscious mind goes, oh, I'm going to grandma's house. And so we just think that we're all this powerful consciousness, and it's really not. The 95% is untapped power, right? It's unused. And today I want to teach you how to use that and what that means, what that looks like. So number one is emotion. So the brain, the right and left hemisphere. In my studies, there's actually the first thing that we ever recognize after we're born is color. So I use a lot of color. I say there's, in my learnings, there's the left brain, which is blue, and the right brain, which is red. It's the left brain is you mix those two, and we have those chakras. So you have those two, and you have the purple chakra that comes together when those two are aligned, that to balance those. So you have this point and click system within yourself. And when the point and click system comes together and that violet chakra is aligned with the right and left hemisphere. So that emotion, you attach an emotion to a thought. So if I want to go to Disneyland, conscious thought, it has to have an emotion. Yay, I remember when I was a kid and we're going to go to Disneyland, right? So your left and right brain start to come together because there's an attachment, an emotional attachment to it. And that emotion is the gears. That's how fast we get to where we're going. So if there's not an emotion, if I just like, oh, we're just going to Disneyland, this is not great. There's not any kind of a drive. The ship doesn't move. We're not going anywhere. And so what we want to do is attach a positive, and I want to just clarify, we are born to feel, to see, to know, to understand. The feeling of anger is a good emotion. The feeling of sadness, guilt, hurt, those are positive emotions. And I know that this is kind of it's a taboo thing. It's like, oh, I'm depressed, it's a bad thing. But no, we are meant to feel. We are feeling beings. So anger it's a very high emotion. Sadness is a low emotion. It's not negative and positive. I use those words just to, kind of bypass all of the conditioning that we've been, through all of our lives. So we say negative and positive emotions, but they're all good, useful emotions. And it's how we choose to use those emotions, what we do with those emotions will power this ship through the ocean of life. So let's take anger, it's like, let's attach it. But then I want to teach you how to remove that anger and how, like, not to have to focus on that anger or that sadness or that trauma even. Something may have happened to you physically, emotionally. That trauma is literally, physically living in your body. And the one thing about NLP that I really, really enjoy is it's a get to. It's strategy, it's technique. It's an awareness for one thing, but the technique. Has anybody ever told you that you can just like feel and emote, let's go to a kind of a lower emotion, like let's just go irritated. You know, use your words for that. Your word cloud might look, you know, different, but I'm going to use the word irritated. They didn't clean out the car after they were done, and now I've got to clean out. Just sort of irritated, right? Not really angry. You still love whoever drove the car last, but there's this irritation. So go inside, find an irritation right now. Just look for that, just something small, tiny, and then look at the color of it. Notice the color. Okay, everybody's kind of got a color. And now I want you to change the color. If it was red, change it to blue. If it was purple, change it to yellow. Change it like opposite scales. Look at the color wheel. You know, you have colors on different sides. They're polar opposite, but they are complementary colors. Okay, so if it was one color, if it's black, change it to white. And notice the feeling. Did it change? Is it different now or is it the same? Because you changed the color. And you can go even deeper. Notice the way that it spins. Spin it the other way. And nobody ever really notices that it's doing something and that it's alive in your body until somebody points it out. You know, what does it feel like? What does that emotion feel like? Is it scraggly? You know, is it soft? What does that emotion feel like? Change it. Change the size of the emotion. If it's this huge, I mean, it's in our language. If we say that, oh, the weight of the world is on my shoulders. Look at me. Look at my neurology, right? It's on my shoulders. That means unconsciously I'm carrying something here. So if I was to just remove this, and you know what, even better, set it over here. And as it shrinks, you know, like the perspective, as something goes away from you, it goes smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And even put a little drop of super glue on that. Put that over there and let it sit. Now I want you to look at that old emotion. Does it feel the same or is it different now? Isn't that incredible? I mean, I can see a few of your faces, but anybody that, tell me if it was different. Raise your hands, do something. Does it feel different? Exactly. And you can do that with anything, anything. Thank you. Oh, Robert, appreciate it. Hands up. Yeah, thumbs. I love it. So that's one small way, and that's called a submodality. So we have these modalities. We interpret life by what we see, feel, hear, smell, taste. We interpret life by our 5 representational systems. So use those also. We can anchor into when you watch the Super Bowl. I mean, you've got Gatorade, you've got beer commercials, you've got all these visual cues, and it's just right around lunchtime. It's like everybody's got to have that Subway sandwich. You know, you've got the colors, you've got sound, and that's how you see the world. And they know that. So presidents, I don't know if any of you know Tony Robbins. He is an amazing NLP, hypnosis coach, teacher, mentor. He's incredible. But there's so many ways that we interpret the world, and it's by these 5 senses. So we have emotion. That's my top one. Change the way that you feel about it. And if you want to change the way you feel about it, go to the ones that are funner, the ones that you can see, feel, hear, touch, smell, any of those. Change the way you're feeling. Turn your back to it. You know, if you have a depression, turn your back on it. Just pretend like it's just, you know what, just for a minute, I'm just going to set it over there. Because neurologically, we are moving through this ocean of life. It's reflected in our bodies and we see it. It's like That's why visual cues, or when we're watching somebody, you see them, turn away, or a blink. My kids, this is so funny. You guys are gonna laugh. So when it comes, we have dinner, everything's, we're just settling down. Okay, time to clean up the kitchen. Inevitably, one of my kids has to go to the bathroom. Inevitably. And it's a retreat. They go to the bathroom. So, I mean, as a mom, I'm like, anybody need to go to the bathroom? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, time to do dishes. That is a trigger. It's a retreat. They don't want to do it. That's their runaway. So they would die if they heard me talking about it. But it's in all of our lives. We have retreats. Even little babies. My sister had a tiny newborn, had the hiccups, and she wanted to go get these newborn pictures. And the newborn, he was just hiccuping. And we tapped on his forehead just a few times, neurologically, waking up his senses, his skin senses, his emotions, getting his attention. And you ask, what do you have to learn from the hiccups? And they immediately, and I'm not even kidding, immediately stopped. The photographer was blown away. She was like, how come nobody's ever taught me that? We've got to learn, like, to talk to our body, to not just let stuff happen, to let stuff just, be. It's like, if you want to change the way your skin looks, or the way you're feeling, the way you sit, change the way you sit, change the way that you feel. Like, do it. Change the color, change the speed, change the location. So in a lot of my coaching processes, that's one of the funnest things that's my go-to, is these submodalities. Change the representational information that you're coming in. And if you want to, on a more positive, more like, this is so fun to talk about, is when you have an experience, and it works really, really good with an experience you're having currently, but you can also access different anchors in your life through that emotion. So like if to feel a certain way when you were 18 years old, when you were 12 years old, I mean, even our unconscious mind, you can go back to when you were 2 and being cradled. If that was your experience, you go back there and you can anchor it into your body and bring up that emotion. You can make that flower. You can make it glow. So even right now, go to a place, and on your body, they have mudras where you can hold your hands, like when you're meditating, it's like they have these, they have the tapping, the EFT. Use your body to anchor in an emotion. And so what we do is you have a timeline where you're feeling a peak of happiness. So at the peak of happiness, when you're at that moment, give yourself a hug. One spot on your shoulder. When I'm in a class, I have one learning spot so that I'm anchoring in, physically anchoring in the learning. So that's what a hug is. So you go to those happy spots in your life, go to any time in your life right now. And when you feel the very, very peak of that emotion, give yourself a hug. Feel it, breathe it in, and it will register on a neurological level. You'll be pushing that good feeling deeper inside consciously, instead of letting the unconscious just kind of, we want to be happy, blah blah blah, we want to, but let's push it in, let's grab that and physically anchor it into our bodies, so that we've got that to access the next time we may feel something less than happy, less than what we'd like. Okay, so you can touch those anchors, a kneecap, my children. And the one thing is, when they're sad, not sad, but just not understanding the situation completely, and they might have a sad feeling, a sad face or whatever, and a lot of us want to like cuddle our children, like hold them close. But the funnest thing to do is, hey, not even touch them. I know this sounds really contradictory, but don't touch them until you have their absolute, like, this is security, this is love, this is compassion. And you hold their body and you push that deeper into them with that intention, okay? So it's that intention behind any movement, behind any emotion. Have an intention, number one, okay? So let's see, can I share my screen here real quick? Or not? Maybe not. Okay, so are you there, Steph?
Yes. So we'll see if Fasana is able to give you sharing permission. Are you able to share right now? Is it telling you that you're able to?
Is it working yet, Melanie?
I'm trying. Okay, so yeah, it's doing this.
Perfect.
Okay. So can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Ma'am.
Okay. So this is what, for everything to happen, we are always at cause. Everybody say it aloud if you can. I am at cause. I am at cause. I am that I am.
I am at cause. I am that I am.
I am that I am.
Yes. I am that I am. I am always at cause. The effect is the after. It's like, why would we just be the after effect? Nobody wants sloppy seconds. You know, like we want to be at cause. We want to be there at the get-go to move our life through as we want, as we see. So using these emotions. So living at cause. Can anybody make you feel sad? Living at cause, can anybody make you feel angry? When you live at cause, can anybody make you do anything you don't want to do? They can't reach inside and manipulate you so that you feel a certain way. Oh, he made me feel this, he made me feel that. You know, we broke up, and there's an emotional engagement that you have to process, but that's living at cause. You process it the way you want to, not the way that everybody, all the love songs tell you to. Live at cause. And by doing that, you increase your mental capacity. Nobody can traumatize you unless it's you give them permission. You give them permission every time. Okay? So we have this cause and effect. The effect, we always have these reasons. Oh, you know, he did this, she did this. So, you know, you're living at the effect side. Cause gives you results. Okay? In Asira, I love the Asira family. We are causing the effect. We are world changers. We are drawing to us, we are calling into us what we want our life to be. And everybody, every single life, every single beautiful soul that comes into Asira will feel the effect, the positive effect of what we've put out there. So we are world changers. We're rainmakers, you guys. Feel that. Bring that up. Like, no, give yourself a hug. Know that you guys, that we as a group, we are going to make this world light and beautiful and loving. The emotions that are going around in the world, we radiate. Our energy is going out there to affect those that we don't even know. It's just our energy. Okay? That's what's going to change this world. It's a beautiful thing. So we want to move the effect over to cause, and we get the results, and thus we have the empowerment. So which side are you going to be on? I know. So this was earlier for the model of communication. So we have events, these things. We come in, oh, it should have been first. I'm really sorry. But this is what happens. It's delete, generalize, and distort. Okay, when we have something, the unconscious mind, it will get rid of these things. So the internal oh, I am really, really sorry. This was just, it's just doing its thing right now. So our experience, what we're doing right here with the Sira, this VAKOG, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, augustatory, it's like this is our internal representations. So I love this, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. This is what I wanted to get to. So never listen to anyone explain why they can't do something. He added that he didn't want to be convinced by them. This is Michael Caine. So I have that, it's just what's in your mind, what's your intention? Okay, you need to be in charge of your focus and your results. I love these mantras. It's okay, this is what we wanted to get to. This perception is projection. When we're world changers, getting back to this, the perception is projection. What you see inside of you is what you will project out onto others. And you can't see, if you're an honest person, you won't see the thieves. You think, oh, that's, you'll have a coating or a cloak of charity. You're like, oh, he was probably this and this. To have more sympathy and empathy for people out there. This is what I want to do, is build this perception, build this inside, dialogue to change this world, this projection, so we can project out what we see in ourselves. And again, it's all here now. Okay, easy as that. It's all here now, in this moment. Okay, that is so powerful to me. I don't know what that does for you, but it's like, I don't need anybody else. I don't need the approval of anybody else. I don't want the approval of anybody else. I'm going to live true to me. And in my honor and integrity, my value is to bring up the vibration of the world. It is, one person at a time. I love that little story of the man that was walking along the beach, sunset, and he reaches down and throws a starfish into this ocean, reaches down, walks a few steps forward, reaches down, another starfish, throws it into the ocean. And somebody comes along and says, you realize how many starfish there are? There's no way you can do all that. There's no way you can put all those starfish back. There's just too many. And he reaches down and he picks up another starfish and he throws it into the ocean. I changed his world. He's able to go on. So what we're doing here in Asira, we're throwing those starfish in. One soul, what is the worth? What is the value of one soul that is changed for the good? That can see their worth, their immeasurable worth, their infinite possible worth. They just don't know who they are, right? I get so emotional I get a high talking about souls and our ability to change lives. I love it. I love it. And how easy it is to project out. I remember my graduating class in NLP, actually, with Tad James. Everybody was clapping. Everybody was clapping. It was graduation. We were getting our diplomas. And I was sitting in the audience. And we were just clapping. And it irritated me because I'm like, can't people hear that we're clapping? Like, everybody was clap, 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 clap. I'm like, can't we just clap all in unison? To be united. This person has just spent a lot of money, a lot of time, 30 days, going through this training, and I just wanted this graduation to be perfect. And so there was a little bit of an irritation because we can't even clap harmoniously. What are we going to do to the planet? And I thought to myself, I'm a world changer. Go into the quantum field, change it. And within a split second, I heard everybody, this chaotic clapping. It would sound like one like symphony of clapping. I mean, I heard highs and lows, and it was here. It began here. I changed it. I feel like that was powerful to me. I changed the way I heard it, saw it. Everybody was smiling after that. It was incredible. So we have these bits of information that come in all the time, and you know, our brain knows what to do with them. It delete, generalize, and distorts what we don't need, and it holds on to what we do need. So that's pretty powerful. This neurotransmitter bathes every cell in the body. So between the brain and the cell, there's a synaptic gap. There's this space. This is the quantum field right here. This space is where it happens. What do I want? My past, present, and future. What do I want that next to look like? You know, as a coach, I ask people because I've invested. I know what I'm worth, and so I invest in myself. So for them, a photographer, one of my clients, she's a photographer, and she wanted to get paid. And I'm like, you have to know that just because you didn't get paid in the past doesn't mean you won't in the future. So she created a synaptic gap. What does that look like? Right there, that you know, that link. Bathe every cell in the body with a thought, that quantum realm. I'll just let this play. So this responsibility for change, it rests on our shoulders. So we can close our eyes, meditate, feel. I mean, I scan my body. I go from the top, and I'm grateful. From the very tips of my hair, eyelashes, everything. Scan your body slowly, slowly. And if there's something that doesn't resonate, if you find energetically that there's a block, what color is it? Change the color. See what is a roadblock when you're finally able to get through a roadblock? What does that feel like? So open up the channels to the body. So close your eyes, relax the muscles, and you want to relax them so that you can't relax them anymore. You can even try. And hold on to that relaxation. Again, even you just sitting there, the weight of your body on your bum, on your legs, on your chair, that's an anchor. Hold on to that relaxation, that intention, and test to make sure that you can open them. So this is a responsibility for change. Look how easy that is. You did that. You did all that. You closed your eyes, relaxed your muscles. You held on to it. You tested them. That's just one simple way to prove to you that with your thought, you can change your world just by doing that. So that's where I'm going to stop on my slideshow. I could go on and on and on. I'd like to answer some questions. Let's see.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Melanie. Here, I can read out. I know that Grace had a quick question for you.
Okay.
So I can ask you Grace's question, and then we can go from there. Amazing, amazing presentation. I don't know about all of you guys, but I am honestly mind blown. I'm here taking so many notes in the background because especially the part, with the colors and changing the colors, that is something that, I have actually never had explained to me in that way. And it makes so much sense. So thank you so much for describing that for us, because I know with these, with these kinds of things and this kind of information, it's things that, like I said, normally we have to pay, thousands of dollars to have access to a coach as highly qualified as Melanie. So thank you so much for sharing so much of your amazing gifts with us. So I know Grace had a question. I'm just scrolling up here to find it. So Grace was asking, how can I talk to my hand shaking before a speech or being on camera?
That is so fun when you have something that you're currently working on. If your hand is shaking, ask yourself, step out of the current moment. So our perception, what we do is, again, it's point and click. The further away you are from something, the less intense it is. Yeah, the fire, you step away, the eyes, you step away. So if your hand is shaking, step away, and you can use here you are using your body, your physiology, step away from the hand shaking, from whatever that problem is, and go, you know what, and even look at my neurology, that problem. Like when you're washing your hands in the sink and you shake your hands to get rid of the water, use your shaking hands to get rid of whatever you're feeling. Shake it. It's neurologically, your body's trying to get rid of something. So go with it, shake it. Don't fight it, because what you resist persists, right? If you're just like, oh, it almost shakes worse, yeah? So we want to just shake it. Get your body, shake it. Pretend like you're just washing all your stuff. Shake it, feel that. Does that help? Again, change the color. What does hand shaking look? What does it feel like? Let's go to the texture. What is your body telling you? Does it feel spiky? Does it feel thick? Use adjectives. What does this feel like? Change the adjectives. Find something in your life that is solid, that is firm, that is knowing. What does that feel like? Take the two pictures, and you can go like this. So there's different ways to do it, but this is called a switch. So you have the current one right in front of your face. Like, I'm going to do it this way. So if I have hand shaking, so to my left, I have what I want. Okay. So down here, really small, tiny, I want a solid speech. I want to be able to talk clearly. It's all down here. So I've created this little picture down here, and you have this right here in front of you. And so what you want to do is bring up from the left side, because neurologically that's where it's all stored. So from the left side, bring it up and switch it as fast as you can, okay? So if it looks like this. So if I'm telling somebody, okay, now it's closer, look how close that is. Look how, hand shaking, it's so scary. It's this close. Switch it. Blink. You want to blink your eyes. It's clearing the screen. It's neurologically anchoring in the new you. That's another technique. So do it again. I do it 3, 4, 5 times. My boy used to grit his teeth before and unconsciously as he was sleeping, he'd grit his teeth. And you're like, what do you do for that? What we did is, before he went to sleep, as he was going to sleep, the unconscious mind, again, we have those brain waves, the beta, delta, theta, alpha. So you want to access right before you go to sleep or right as you wake up, you want to be doing this little switch at that moment. So as he's going to sleep, he's seeing the switch, he's seeing this down here, and he brings it up and he puts this one over here. And he did that every night. It only took like 3 nights, and he wasn't gritting his teeth anymore. So it works to clear out anything. Nail biting. If anybody has any nail biting, this is kind of fun. So you put your hands on your lap and you bring it up, and just a quarter of an inch, centimeter at a time. Bring it up. Where do you feel like you want to bite your nails? At that moment, switch. It might be right here. It might be clear down in your lap, whatever. Nail biting, done. Just that switch. You can pretend like it's a horse race. Come up behind and switch. Okay? Does that help? I hope that helps. That's a cool technique. I love doing that.
Thank you so much. That is, I've never heard those kinds of solutions for things like nail biting and, everything else you just shared. So that's so amazing. Grace is just saying thank you. I assume it works for your nervousness too. Is that something that's true? Does it?
Yeah, again, come out, go, pretend like you're in a hot air balloon, come up from the situation. Look down on the situation, pretend like you're down there, maybe in a theater, where you come into a theater and you know that there's a guy in the projection room. Be the guy in the projection room looking down at the whole audience. Come away from the situation. Stay there in the audience. You go up in the projection room, change the video, change that movie. Clip, trim, short and lengthen, whatever you want. Your life is yours, your projection. Again, you are at cause. So you're the projection. You can change the movie. So when you're down there, again, see, and notice as you even consider sitting in that audience, you're up in the projection room, notice how the shaking stops. That's living at cause. Nothing's happening to us. Nothing's happening to us. It's happening for us.
Amazing, amazing. I love that. And I don't know about all of you guys, but everybody just type in me if that response and just that massive, I'm not going to say little golden nugget, that massive gold mine that Melanie just shared kind of hit a light bulb moment for you in terms of taking yourself out of the situation and viewing it like if you were in that projection room. So if anybody else had a light bulb moment, comment me. If you're on Facebook, comment me below if that was a light bulb moment for you. Because honestly, it was for me. I always do these like mind-blowing moments. So I mean, you can put the mind-blown emoji if you want, if you're on Facebook too. But we have had so many of those moments here with Melanie. I see we've got so many me's coming in. So that's absolutely amazing. And I know that we have so many other questions as well, because the value that you are giving us is just next level. So I'm going to dive in and ask a question from Lief, and he is asking, do you have a good trick to break out of the addictive behavior mindset? Ooh, I like it.
Oh, those are one of the funnest ones. Those are the funnest. So again, an addiction is just a behavior. It is just a behavior. It's, hopefully we're all showering. How do you know when to stop? Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So when you want to stop showering, how do you know to stop? Is that, you feel, and my words again, do you feel clean? Is there a sensation externally? Is there a thought internally? I've got to get to work. I've got to whatever. How do you finish something? So the finishing we are either starting, doing, or finishing. 3 steps. So somewhere, there always hasn't, an addiction, whether it's drinking, whatever it was, we weren't born with a, beer in our hand, right? We weren't born drugs or whatever. We adapted. We started something. There was something, it was a relief, a release, whatever it was, for whatever reason, no judgment. We're always doing it. So we are in the middle of doing it. If you want to stop something, how do you stop showering? And look at the first word that comes up. Well, I feel, or I know. An internal, you're knowing, that's an internal recognition of stopping. So for me, a shower, there's a checklist of things, I know that I've got to shower because I want some time to clean the shower. So there's this knowing. It's just a feeling. It's an internal, it's not really an external feeling. It's an internal feeling. So if I want to stop something, I use that feeling of finishing a shower. How does that feel? What does that look like? Color it, write it down, write down these things. So write down the color, size, shape, location, feeling, texture. Is there a noise? Whatever. Write it down. Is there spinning? Does it moving? Look at that. Write all those down. All those submodalities. Write them down. Change the big ones. Change the most obvious ones. Okay, change the color, change the shape, change the location. If it's over here, if you're here. So the shower feeling done for me is down here. For some reason, I'm stepping out of the shower. That I'm done. So take that, write down that list of how it feels to finish, and then even put those pieces of paper on top. So again, here's this switch. Put the piece of paper of finishing on top, finishing a shower, and your behavior, there's no addiction. We live at cause. Put it on top, put that paper on top of it. Feel that. And if you want to, remove this bottom paper. So we're just finishing a shower, no big deal. How does that feel? The addiction, the behavior, you know? Does that help? I hope that helps.
Wow, that is so, I feel, again, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's your body. Move your body, use your body to change how you're feeling emotionally.
I love it. I love it. Love it. And Lief is saying, yes, super useful. Amazing. I feel like we could listen to you speak and just have probably a book worth of content that we could have coming out of this if we were to keep going. So this is absolutely amazing. Absolutely love it. And we have some more awesome questions. Yeah. So Tim is actually asking, what technique would you use to enhance affirmations you read to yourself on a daily? Ooh, I like this question, Tim.
Affirmations are, thank you, Tim. Yes. Affirmations, again, those are auditory anchors. If you speak them, you are using your voice, your body, you are going into the quantum realm. Your affirmations are something, it's like, what is a thought? Why do I want what I want? Okay. So that comes out in an affirmation. You've decided I want, or the word I want is not appropriate. I have, or I enjoy an abundance of wealth. I enjoy a full bank account overflowing. That's how I look at my affirmations. The attitude of want, it's always just beyond your reach. So the I wants, that's why I love the mantra, I am that I am. Because right now I am enjoying the abundance. And I know what that feels like. And I even yet will know more deeply what that feels like. So use the feeling, use your body, your affirmations. You're using your chakras, your vocal cords, the vibration of your body to create. Okay. So your affirmations, if you're saying them again without emotion, attach an emotion to them. What is the feeling of knowing? What is the feeling of having? Not of getting, not of, what is that feeling? What is the feeling of breath? Because breath is always ours. It's always ours. So a million times, you breathe all the time. What does it feel to take a big, fresh breath? Using your body, using your neurology, having what you need. Because we always have what we need. And we're creating it with our vibrations. So an affirmation, I love it. The mantras, those are the creations. You say those out loud so that you can hear them, you can feel them, see them when you're writing them down. Again, you're using you write them down, you're using your body to create. Color them, make them bold. You know, it is repetition, it is conditioning. The more you do, the more you'll do. And it becomes just a part of you. Okay? Hope that helped. Anything else?
Amazing. That was absolutely so insightful. And it's something so many people, I think, need to realize is it's not about wanting, like you said. It's about feeling as though it's already done. And what you shared in terms of, you know, how to do that, because I think so many people out there are always giving the what. You know, so many people are always saying, what is happening, you know, what you're doing wrong, but not very many people are actually giving you a way to. And I think that's why this is so powerful, because you're actually giving people that way of fixing it, those tools, those tricks, those things that within a second, you know, can change your entire life if you actually utilize them and use this life transformative information that you're sharing with people. So, I mean, this stuff is gold, everyone. Like, I highly suggest you take these notes and you put them on Post-it notes and you stick them all over your room, because this is the kind of stuff that changes your life that Melanie is sharing with us today. So we are so thankful that you're here doing this with us. And to respect everyone's time, I know we only have 7 minutes left, and we do want to be able to make sure that we are finished here at 2, but there is one more question that's a fantastic question. Annie Koshi is saying it's coming from Facebook. Amazing. So she is saying, what is the difference in interpretation of the word in consciousness and subconsciousness?
Okay, so that's an awesome question. Awesome question. Thank you. So consciousness is the awareness. And we have, I mean, if there was more time there, I would love to delve into that. The consciousness is just almost like the end game. It's almost like, oh, that worked, and now I'm here. It's like the final of everything. So what you want to do is go to you want to reverse engineer it. If you want a specific outcome, that's a conscious thought. The reverse engineering is the unconscious thought. It's like, hey, so to get to this consciously, we're going to do this. But and I don't like to call it the subconscious, because it means lower than. It's less than. And that's why I like the super conscious, because it is full awareness that we are not aware of. It's super conscious. It's I like to think of it as when you're riding your little your three-wheeler trike down a hill, and woo, that was fun, and you learn how to ride a trike, and that's your conscious. That's you're consciously competent. You know what you know. And then one day there's this whoosh of air, and some kid with a helmet and a two-wheel bike screams past you, and you're like, holy smokes, there's more out there. Like, how do I get to that? Like, I was just like cool on my three-wheeler, but now there's like the kid on a two-wheel bike, and he's going faster, and he's going where he wants, and he's not even pedaling most of the time. Like, how does that work? So then you realize that you don't know what you don't know, and then you're looking, and then that's a conscious thought. That becomes your next conscious thought. And what you knew before, all of a sudden it just kind of falls away. It's like, great, I learned that, more and more and more, and you get hungry to go into that quantum realm, to the super conscious, to learn. I actually love to find out what I don't know. I don't know anything. And I love that. I love, when I'm talking to hopefully a connection to come to Asira, it's like, I don't need to know everything. There's somebody above me that knows more, and it's okay. It's just pride and ego that gets in the way, that thinks we have to know all this, and like, this is what, the selling points of Asira, and it's so amazing, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't know, but I know somebody that does know. Hand it off, give it to somebody that knows. And so that's consciousness, unconsciousness. For me, it's just awareness versus the ability to be aware.
Amazing. I absolutely love that. I love how you put the super conscious, because it's true, right? That's really what actually dictates what we end up doing. So I love your way of rewording it so that it can help people kind of conceptualize how important the subconscious mind is. You are just full of golden nuggets, and I am just, like I said, I'm taking this all in. I don't know about all of you guys, but I think everybody needs to come on camera right now and, one, give a big round of applause, but two, how many of you feel like if Melanie was only halfway done sharing, or a third or a fifth of the way done sharing half of the wealth of knowledge that she has, and how many of you would like to see Melanie back for another power hour? I want to see your hands up. I want to see you writing me in the comments on Facebook.
Aww.
And also in the comments here too, because like I said, I know there is so much more in there that we would love to have you back. So thank you so much, Melanie. There's a few other questions that have popped up, but I've actually asked the people to comment them on the Facebook Live. So if you can, maybe, just because we're running out of time, so maybe if you'd like, and just go back and type out some answers, because people are still, the questions are pouring in, because you have just shared so much value with us. So Thank you so much, everyone. And I know that you have probably heard Melanie share a few times, that we're all in this collective project together, and that Melanie is a part of this project that's helping her share her infinite amount of gifts with the world. So if you are on here, if you're watching this on Facebook, and if this has impacted your life in any way, and if you would love to be able to connect back with Melanie and get to know more about what she's doing and maybe how you can join our family of highly conscious people, then please comment more info on the Facebook Live below. And that way Melanie can personally reach out to you and have a conversation regardless, and see if this is something that can work out so that you can actually join us in our amazing mission and just have fun, because we're all such a fun, loving group here, as you can already see. So thank you so much, Melanie. I am excited to have you back again on a Power Hour in the very near future. And before we leave today, I do want to give you a sneak peek of the amazing information we are going to have tomorrow. So tomorrow we actually have the amazing Lief Destrade Sosa that is going to be, I hope I pronounced that right, who is going to be giving us some amazing information on hacking sleep. Ooh, I love this one. Hacking sleep, which is a functional medicine approach. I know this man has a lot to share. He's definitely got a lot of genius that he's going to offer us tomorrow. So if any of you are wanting to hop back on our Power Hour for tomorrow, watch out for the link. Other than that, I am going to wrap up today. Again, round of applause, Melanie. This was absolutely insightful and amazing. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. Have an amazing day, everybody. Bye.